my man.
Is this a fucking indie movie?
The joke I made there before we started filming was we got to break some shit down because this was like a French indie film. So just great as usual. The manga continues to just go out of the box and make me be like, what am I reading? But like, what I gotta. The main thing I want to talk about here is first, let's just talk about what I really loved, and then I want to talk about what confused me, and then we'll hopefully kind of figure that out. So, pages 8, 9, and 10 were fucking beautiful, and what I mean by that is like the way that this scene's done. Retroactively after her death, this author is making me care more and more for Puke Girl, and that is yes what we call her here. But like genuinely, you've made me care about her so much that I almost want to use her real name. But straight up though, like these scenes here are really powerful, and I think what makes them so powerful is that we're seeing it from the perspective here of I'm sorry, I'm having a massive brain for Aki. Thank you myself. We're seeing it from the perspective of Aki, right? It's all from his visual perspective. So like that makes it so much more powerful because you see the little things, right? Like the little like the smiles she does, the blushing, the kind of like looking down then looking back up to him. And I got to be honest, I got emotional when I read this because it reminds me of how I look at people that like I have women in my life, specifically one or two, that I have massive crushes on, and I love everything about them. I look at them and I feel joy, and I can see that that's what he felt for her. Because like when you look at it from his perspective, you just see the kind of awesome, just like the relationship they had, really. Like you could see how natural the conversations came to them and how much they enjoyed being around each other. And I really felt that even stronger than I think I would have normally because of how it was laid out from his perspective. And I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely... See, this is the type of stuff I love about the series. It can go from being the super, jokey bullshit, shitposty series with like power and energy to this beautiful, semi-pseudo romance here to, super serious, I'm going to cut this demon for revenge kind of moment.
This is straight up like bordering on like a deep, like one of those, like the way that this chapter was laid out, it reminds me a little bit of like 2001: A Space Odyssey, where like the end of that movie was like really deep and symbolic and you could like analyze it for days. Like I just... The fact that, like, in the flashback, they're talking about, like, okay, well, I'll hold on to this cigarette and give it to you later. And then what we see here, which I assume is completely metaphorical and symbolic, because, like, otherwise, like, what the fuck? Like, I imagine this is just something he's seeing in his head, because it's like, how to put this? Like in Bleach, when Kenpachi and Unohana were fighting and then they both turned into skeletons and people were confused. It was like, did they really turn into skeletons? And it was like, no, it was more of a metaphorical, like the your shackles are being released now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, that's kind of what we're seeing here, where like, I don't think that this whole hand giving him the cigarette thing, that's clearly not actually happening. It's just a very cool, strong visual metaphor for him basically being like, yes, I know what I'm going to kill this thing for. I'm going to kill this thing because this is the thing that killed Puke Girl, right?
Yeah, this is definitely the revenge plot.
The Whammon and the demon, yeah. But I love how it was done because, right on the cigarette, it's like
easy revenge.
Easy, yeah. Here it comes, and it's just, and what I love too is this thing's blind. It only sees by sensing fear. It, like the. Literally, it's not like heat vision. It's not it's not even predator shit where it's like looking at your like heat signatures, yada yada. No, it's like literal fear because it's a demon, and that's how they work. At least that can work because that fits within the rules of demons. It makes sense. So for the badassery of the fact that he literally had a moment where he's like, I can give up all fear. I have no fear right now because at this point I think he's so. In fact, I think there's part of him that's like, I just want to join her now. I want to die and join her in whatever afterlife he may or may not believe in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely the fuck it, I've given up, but also I want this. I don't care if I die.
And he also knows he's gonna die soon. Yeah. Anyway, so like he really just he had that flashback, he had that moment, and then this is kind of like a big moment where he's just like, I feel nothing. I feel nothing other than it's time to fucking kill this thing. And the fact that he can just slowly, casually walk past this thing, get behind it, and then the flowers that he's walking on, it almost shows like the peace he's at, and they just turns
Right.
around, slice. Like, how can this series be both so shitposty and so deep? It's just, it really truly is the best of both worlds. It reminds me of how I felt about One Piece in the in the early days when I first got into that, where One Piece can go from one of the funniest things I've ever read to like deep and sad. And I think the best series do that. They have that best of both worlds situation going on. And
Yeah, for real.
I think no series as of late does that better than Chainsaw Man, because this chapter I was enthralled. It was quick as fuck, but like, man, it was deep.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to dissect here, which kind of sucks for the last review for a
Past
while.
what I just dissected. Oh yeah, David will be taking a bit of a break, maybe for like a month after this.
Yeah, so we'll be returning with like chapter 40.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 39, 40.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
But and by the way, if the chapters are really good, like, just because I know that I would feel bad for the viewers, like I may very well like hop on here with Thurman or something. Not it wouldn't be replacing you. It would just be to keep the people happy.
I do the same if you guys want to take a break for the other series, so I totally understand.
So don't think that the reviews will be done. It might just be different people until he comes back. But anyway though, so like I guess. Yeah, I mean that's mostly what happened here. So, did you have any thoughts on that whole thing that tirade I just went on?
Yeah, I mean you're spot on, man. It's like this beautiful metaphorical, thing for like the revenge being completely at peace, and just the casual slice. Like the art here is godly as usual. That's the one thing that I really love about the series, and the one thing I still really love about Promised Neverland is the artwork is fucking God's here usually. But holy fucking hell. Like, the one thing that really, really got me was the final page here. The motivation for all of this.
No, I thought that was great. Like, I love that. Because, again, this manga captures so well, like, just almost like the apathy of the human race so well. You know what I mean? Just like we're so fucking done. Like this manga captures the attitude of almost like our generation. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like it's just such
millennials,
a
the manga.
It's like, oh, why are you working 4 jobs and like, rationing your insulin and fucking starving yourself to death? Oh, I had to save up for rent.
Yeah.
Like, so like.
It's close to a bonus.
It's such a good. Again, like, because I believe that, like they hate being here, but it's like, what are you gonna do? It pays well, got good insurance. Like it's
well,
just,
you'd have to for the fucking risk, you would think.
Oh my god, yeah, it'd all be workman's comp, I suppose. Fuck, you got disemboweled. I guess we can cover that.
Yeah, just send what's left to my relatives and burn me on a pyre.
They better have life insurance, like their funerals covered.
Sorry, that was a separate form we forgot to send you.
Yeah, bro, separate consent form. Oh, the family comes up like, hey, are you gonna at least cover the like $20,000 fucking like funeral fee? Nah, bro, separate form. They never filled out. So mean.
Oof.
Separate consent form, bro. Let's see. I'm referencing PC Principle, by the way, if anyone doesn't know. Yeah, but I mean, I suppose that's the main thing. I mean, that's literally this whole chapter is just him like walking through this dude and like the deep ass like. To me, my favorite part was like the continuous development of his relationship with Puke Girl and how well that was done. And I love that it was from his perspective. Mm-hmm. And I guess it was confirmed as well that, the power here from the Future Devil is it's practically the Sharingan, which I have no problem with, by the way. Some people are like, oh, it's the same power. We're at a point where you can't really come up with like unique powers very much anymore. Almost everything's been done. So to me, it's not the power itself, but it's how it's used and how it's presented. So I actually kind of like I have no problem because it's sufficiently different enough from the Sharingan, because the Sharingan was like a Kekkei Genkai. It was a unique power born through a bloodline, whereas this is a demon he's made a contract with. So I think that's sufficiently different. I have no issue with that. So yeah, basically as is mentioned in this chapter, he's moving faster, he's dodging things quicker because of this future thing. So that's pretty interesting, and I suppose that would make him pretty OP. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about here. Yeah, I mean, really, that's most of what I wanted to say, unless you have anything else more on this chapter here.
Not really, which is strange because usually there's a lot more to dive into, but it's, double page, beautiful art. And
It's all right. Yeah, I mean, this is just one of those, like, we can talk about it for, like, 5-10 minutes and be done. Because, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that because I loved it, but it's just, like, not a lot to mention.
Exactly. So, yeah, I guess predictions for the next few chapters.
Well, let me think. I don't know. You know what's funny is the author's doing a really good job at, like, making me retroactively care for Puke Girl. Like, I feel really bad now. Like she seems like a chill, cool person, and I feel bad. Like, it's actually making me, like, retroactively sad about her death, like, more than before. So, like, good job on that, you know. And at this point, you know, like, the emotional side of me is like, I want her back, but the brain side of me is like, no, don't, because it would cheapen everything if you did. So I certainly hope that this author won't do that, and we've never seen. There's no evidence to say that the author will, because this author's better than that, so I doubt it will happen. But, so yeah, I certainly hope she stays dead, and I'm assuming she will. What we see here is, you know, basically they just strolled in and fucking took care of business, because last chapter they took care of the zombies. Now they've taken care of her. What's left? I mean, is that Katana head guy left?
I'm going to assume that's going to be a Denji versus Katana boy battle.
It's just, I love how it's just such a stomp. They're fucking destroying. They're just strolling. And it's interesting because, remember, this little invasion, it was like a test for this division. It was like, all right, if you guys do well, then we're going to come out publicly with this division and be like, yo, what's up, new division with Devilmen, and it's great. We're going to work with them. It's going to make us be able to protect you better, you know? But if they failed, they basically just would have assassinated all of them and then, you know, swept it under the rug. So it looks like this division is doing very, very well, and because they're easily just destroying all of them. So I quite enjoy that. I mean, I love subverting expectations like that. It kind of reminds me of, like, I'm sure you can think of a couple anime moments where it's like, oh man, this is going to be an even fight, and then they get stomped. Like, it almost reminds me of when the children escaped in Promised Neverland, which I still don't know how I feel. Part of me wanted that to be more of a challenge, but part of me thought it was clever. It was like, yeah, no, Isabel just underestimated the children. That's why they escaped so easily. They were actually smarter than we even thought. So I don't know, but that's kind of what it reminds me of, where it's just like, we expected this to be like the next big arc, and they're just kind of going in and stomping, which I think is pretty interesting, actually.
It's definitely been a fucking wild ride so far with this fucking series, and I hope to hell it continues to be this quality moving forward. But, like, at this point with the division stomping this hard, there has to be a fuck up.
I don't know if there'll be a fuck up here. They could very well be like, they could stomp here, and then all of a sudden, you know, like the Gun Devil, like, fucking does something crazy, or like a country away, and like reminds them, like, yeah, no, you're still just beginning. You know, you were just fighting like scrub cult members of the Gun Devil. You know.
Exactly. Like, that's the kind of thing I'm hoping for right now. Is like,
oh yeah, it's not going to be this easy. This singular mission might be this easy, but like, there's going to be more.
Moving forward, we're going to see them fuck up, and there are going to be consequences. And I hope they dive into more, you know, in the next few chapters of like. And this is
Shark Boy, Angel Girl. Oh, some people think the Angel Devil is a trap. By the way,
I saw that.
What do you think? I can kind of see it now, unfortunately.
I can kind of see it.
No.
But
let me lewd her.
You mean him? Of age. But like,
excuse me. You can't just fucking sweep aside that beautiful comedic opportunity. This is controlled chaos, sir.
I said, you mean him?
Oh, I didn't hear that, honestly.
But like, I really am curious who the fuck up will be. I'm almost hoping it's Nightcrawler Shark Boy.
I feel like it'd be more powerful for the fuck up to be someone we care about more. But I also don't think the fuck up is gonna be. I really
power
don't.
Is so hacks.
The Shark Boy is hacks.
The Shark Boy is hacks.
Why? Because he can swim through shit.
Right, he's like fucking dissolving matter and going through it. And
he's not dissolving matter. He's just no-clipping through it, basically, is how I look at it.
Yeah, kind of. But
he's like Toby from fucking Naruto.
Yeah, it's just like, that's so fucking broken. Like, well, this entire division is broke as fuck. Let's be realistic here, but that one's just broken to a whole new level because he can just like fucking blitz to wherever they need to go. Boom. Done.
I wouldn't mind if okay, you've seen Suicide Squad, right?
Yep.
Remember the Australian dude with the boomerang?
Captain Boomerang.
Remember how he was like the example?
Yeah.
So if you don't know what I'm talking about, in that movie, they set up this whole cast, like, all right, here's everyone. And then one of them just gets fucking, like, literally blown up with a bomb, like, 5 minutes into the movie. And, like, so that's what I would not mind if Sharkman was that. Like, because Sharkman is the least interesting, in my opinion, out of all the characters introduced. So I would love it if like, the mission goes over well, except for, like, one fuck-up from Sharkman, and then Makima just walks over and just crushes him with her powers, and, like, almost like Nanika from, you know, just like, you all did great, except for you, Sharkman. You're dead. What? Is that understood, everyone? We don't fuck up in this division. Okay.
Yep.
I'd be okay with that. The example,
I would too.
The example, fucking, like, Sharkman is like the boring character that's made an example of. I'd be so down.
You know, I love me Nightcrawler, and he reminds me of Nightcrawler, but, you know, I fucking would love to see that be the example. Like, oh, and you fucked up? Goodbye.
I'm almost, well, because remember, and that could be foreshadowed, because what did we see from Sharkman? Like, he was, like, eating a bunch of zombies, and he almost, like, bit one of the other Devilmen, remember?
Exactly.
So he seems to be, like, the rash one, you know, the making decisions too quickly one.
And we could definitely see it go down that road, and I hope it does. And, I mean, that's just, you know, fuck. We stretched it another...
I don't know how possible it is, but, like, I'm hoping to see more darker sides of Makima. Like,
yes.
There's more, like, Makima is, I think, the most fascinating thing here. And if anything's going to go unexpected with this mission, I'm expecting it to be Makima related. I'm expecting Makima to just pop in and be like, oh, you thought it was this? Just kidding. I'm fucking Makima, and now I'm about to do some shit to throw this whole thing off. I don't know.
Yeah. See, I could kind of see that.
It's weird. I mean, either they're going to succeed, and it's going to be perfect, which I could see. I could also see Makima coming in and basically ordering them to do something like extra fucked up, and then like the guy that trained them coming in and like objecting to that, and then like a big infight. That's also possible. Like, there's a lot of things that could happen. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely. So with that, I mean, this is peace for now.
Yeah, peace.